The death penalty is a punishment meted out in certain countries. It's the harshest punishment we have, where a state and a court system sentences an individual to die for what they perceive to have been a crime committed. I think what you find with the death penalty, we work in lots of different regions, but there is this common thread when it comes to the use of the death penalty, and it is almost invariably used as a political tool, a cheap, easy political fix to achieve a certain end, to show that a state is powerful, that they are tough on crime, that they are protecting their people. Whereas the reality is, it's the reverse with the death penalty. It is not a useful tool to fight crime. We know from statistical studies it has no deterrent effect. We know that you get the wrong people sometimes. It's one of the reasons why we really have to all be against the death penalty, because it is so final and you can't predict what a regime is going to decide to kill its citizens for.
So the death penalty is just a form of human sacrifice. We have a real problem in some parts of society, particularly where I spent many years in America, where there's a huge crime problem. And when we have that problem, we can do one of two things. We can tell the truth and say that it's because of drugs, it's because we don't have welfare and other things like that, and we have terrible poverty. The alternative, of course, is that we can just lie to people and say that if you kill a tiny group of people who we call the most evil folk in society, if we execute them, somehow that's going to solve the problem. Now, people tend to go for the lie because it's so much easier, and if we can inspire folk to hate a tiny group of people, that maybe diverts them from the real problems. But of course, it's nothing more than a lie.
It's a very natural instinct to want to see something terrible happen to somebody who's done something terrible. That's a very human instinct. What I would hope from our justice system is that they are above our basic instincts. And so whilst I would never condemn anybody for their instincts, to their anger at somebody who's committed a horrible abuse to somebody that's close to them, I would hope that a justice system and that the rule of law and that our state would adhere to a different set of principles that don't give them the power to commit the same sorts of abuses that we're condemning. Reprieve represents individuals who have been sentenced to death or who are facing death sentences in countries all over the world. We tend to represent those individuals or assist with the cases of those individuals who perhaps don't have the best legal support, who are perhaps in a jurisdiction where they are very vulnerable, and we try to bring something more to their defense. We try to place ourselves between the haters and those being hated to bring power to the powerless. Well, with individual cases, we will go and investigate the case, we will work with the lawyers, we will file briefs, but we'll do a combination of things. Reprieve looks at the case in the round and we'll try to work out whether political pressure will change the dynamics of the situation. We will engage the public and we will use public pressure to change the political optic of a case. We'll use the law, of course, but we'll also look for facts and try to introduce new evidence that could potentially save a life. The public is so important. We really need the engagement of people reading about these cases, wanting to do something on these cases, because that's how you achieve change. Political regimes won't stop killing people if they think that the public doesn't care. The British government won't help those individuals facing execution if they think the public doesn't care. So it's absolutely a vital tool for our work, and we need to work together to achieve the end of saving lives and hopefully ultimately abolishing the death penalty.